Hey, how's it going, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can send Facebook lead information that you're generating for your clients into Google Sheets, and it'll update automatically so your client can have a real-time view of the leads that you're generating, their phone numbers, their emails, and all the information that you're gathering about them in one spot, and you don't have to constantly email them, hey, you got a new lead, or did you see the lead I sent over, or here's the leads we sent this week. You can have it in one Google Sheet that automatically updates based on when the leads put in the information. And so in order to actually do this, what I'm going to be using is a software called HighLevel, which is an all-in-one platform for agencies that's got a ton of features that really combines a lot of other software. And you'll find a link below where you can get access to a 14-day free trial, as well as a course that I have put together to make sure that you're extremely successful with HighLevel, including a lot of snapshots of individual niches, which is basically plug and play campaigns with funnels, text message, email, all that stuff, so you can hit the ground running basically. All right, let's jump back to the video. So I'm using HighLevel for my survey. So once they click the Facebook ad, they're going to go into a survey, which I'm going to show you a little bit about. And it's basically just a series of questions, and the answers to these questions that the prospect fills out will go into custom fields. So what you want to do ultimately is pass information from HighLevel into Google Sheets, and the way that we're going to do that is through Zapier. And just to give you a quick overview of the process, right? So I have a Facebook ad, and then once they click that Facebook ad, they're going to view, or they're going to land on a landing page that I have for this particular client, and it's going to show them a question, a survey. The first one is zip code, right? So they click and they put in their zip code. It's going to ask them the next question, the next question, the next question. And ultimately, it's going to, when they submit it, it's going to send them to a thank you page. Thank you page says confirmed. If there's certain criteria that I have in this particular survey that if they don't meet, if they have certain credit score requirements that are, if they have terrible credit, I'm going to disqualify them. And one of the main reasons why I'm doing this, just so you know, is that I want to send signals to Facebook that I only want quality leads. So by telling Facebook, by pixeling leads on the thank you page for non-disqualified leads, it's telling Facebook these are the type of leads that I am looking for. So a little bonus there, just a way to kind of increase lead quality, is only pixel those that actually are qualified. So let's jump into Zapier real quick, and I'll show you how to set all this up. All right, let's just review the finished product first, just in case you're super advanced. I'm just going to show you what it all looks like, and then we're going to start it from scratch, and I'm going to do it all over again. So the trigger that we're going to be using is catch a hook. So we're going to be setting a webhook from HighLevel to Zapier to do something, which is catch the hook, and then we'll go forward. The trigger is a particular webhook that we're going to copy paste in a minute. We'll test the trigger. The next action is create a spreadsheet row in Google Sheets, and you're going to link your account. You're going to say create a row. You're going to choose your account, and then the setup action is where you're actually going to have your Google Sheet already set up, and then you're going to map the custom fields from HighLevel into the Google Sheet. So that was super fast, but I just wanted to kind of show you, big high level what's happening. We're going to have HighLevel send a webhook to Zapier, and it's going to say, okay, I need to do something. It's going to grab data from HighLevel, put it in a Google Sheet. All right, let's start over and let's do it from scratch. All right, so I just created click new zap. Create a zap wherever on your. Let's just go to it. Just to make sure you can't miss anything. Zaps, make a zap. We're all on the same page now. All right. And so if you don't have HighLevel, this could work for most any other type of software that has the ability to send webhooks. So I'm going to say webhook, webhooks by Zapier, choose an event, catch a hook, and continue. All right, so now it's going to give you a custom webhook URL. And this is where we're going to go back into HighLevel and actually set up. So you want to make sure you copy this. All right, and we're going to hop into HighLevel. And we're going to go into triggers. So trigger is, we're going to click add trigger. So I've already got this one set up, so I'm going to do YouTube webhook to Google Sheets. And this is super simple, guys. I know if you're intimidated so far, like, take your intimidation all away, because like it's not hard. All right, so when do you want this to run? So what I did was I wanted to run when somebody fills out the survey. That's when I want something to happen. So if you think about it logically, somebody submits a survey, you want it to go into Google Sheets. So that's all that you have to do. So we want to do, let's find survey submitted. For me, that survey is survey 1. That's just the name of it. It's a super original survey. When somebody submits that survey, and notice that you can also trigger this so that if disqualified is yes or no, but I want to send all leads there just so they have all the information. And then I have a Google Sheet that actually shows whether they're disqualified or not based on some formulas I've got, but let's go forward. So let's say somebody submits a survey. Now what we want to do is execute a webhook or something about a webhook. Let's see. Execute webhook. Now, this is where it's prompting you to put in the webhook URL. And Zapier gives it to you. It's saying, hey, send this, and then let's do some stuff. So that's basically it. So we're going to save that. We're going to make sure it's activated. And look, that's like, we just did some pretty fancy stuff. Like, we haven't done it yet. We're not done, but we just had HighLevel talk to Zapier based on a webhook. It's kind of cool stuff, I think. Maybe I'm just like a nerd, whatever. That's fine, but it's pretty interesting. And that was not that hard, right? That was super simple. So we're going to continue. We're going to test the trigger. We couldn't find a request. This is great. I love troubleshooting when things just don't work. So let's find out why it wasn't working. First, is it active? Is it saved? Yes, it is. Okay, a reason why you might run into this problem that most people don't go through all of the troubleshooting is that there might not be anything that was submitted recently. That might not be why it's not triggering anything, because the survey has not been submitted. So let me pause it. I'm going to put some information through there so that I can actually I'm going to submit the survey, and then we're going to find some information. So let me pause it and I'll check that out. Okay, so that worked. That's exactly what it was. I had not gone through the survey. Or I might have had the Zap exactly set up a little bit differently. But anyways, I went through the survey and then it worked immediately. I put in a bunch of dummy information and the trigger worked. That's usually what happens when you can't find anything. When Zapier doesn't find any information, just go through it, give it some test information. Okay, so all the information was pulled through. We're going to click continue. The survey was completed. So next is Google Sheets. So app event is Google Sheets. We're going to choose create a spreadsheet row. We're going to click continue. You're going to choose your account. So this should just be Charlie and Walker. And now what you want to do is find, or not find, but create a spreadsheet if you don't already have one that you can use. So we could use, for example, I'll create a new one. We can do it together. And the top row is very important because that's what Google Sheets is going to say, or Zapier is going to say, like, what are your headers? That's where you're going to map your information. So we're going to do, it's going to depend on your client, right? Whatever information you're gathering, whatever survey, maybe it's just a lead form. Maybe it's name, number, email, and maybe a question or two. But first name, last name, email, phone number, and then I'll use one other field of, just because I'll do a couple. I'll just say zip code and working with a realtor, because that's a big question in the loan officer world. Obviously, they want to know if they're working with a realtor, because it's a great way to give them referrals. So I'll stop there and we'll create this one. So YouTube leads, so I know it's not a real one. All right, so now I'm going to pick Drive, which is basically just, I'm not sure if you have like different business drives, but this account it's the personal one, so I don't. So what spreadsheet? I just named it YouTube leads. So I'm going to name it YouTube Leads, the worksheet, which is just basically just a tab, right? So there's one, sheet 1 is the worksheet, sheet 1. And then it's going to prompt you with the different fields that are available. Now watch what happens when I say, oh, I forgot, I meant to also say, what is your credit score? If I click refresh, it's going to update it. Now a downside is if you were to insert one here, it's going to get all out of order. So you want to kind of think about what the layout of your spreadsheet ahead of time, because going backwards is a little bit difficult. Okay, so now Zapier is going to prompt you to, where is this information coming from? So it knows that from this hook, there's some information that was sent. This is all the information that I just put through. So I'm going to do first name. I should have done last name, just because I was messing around. I didn't do a first and last name, but generally first and last name would show. But I just said testing, so we're going to map that one. Last name, usually last name would show up. If you're doing high level, if they did a space, I'm gonna use testing as again. Email, that's what I put in. Phone number, don't text me. Or sure, I'm happy to talk to you. There we go. Zip code. Working with a realtor. That was one of the custom fields in the survey. There's a lot of them here, so bear with me. Are you already working with a real estate agent? Actually, that one's no. Just because I have multiple fields that I've created in this particular account, which I don't recommend, or recommend you delete custom fields if you're not using them in an account. And then credit score, I think I put, let's see. Come on. All right, what is your estimated credit score? I must have put good. Okay, so now let's click continue. Test and continue. Now let's go check on the spreadsheet. Wow, look at that. That just automatically appeared like absolute magic, like you are a magician. And as you're generating all of your leads, this spreadsheet is going to update and it's going to be awesome. This is something you can share with your clients so they can have real-time information. And what I like to do, if I'm not using a call center for mortgage, is have them let me know, like, hey, did you get in touch with this person? What is the status of this? A lot of clients don't want to use your pipeline. They might have their own systems. So I'm not going to force them to use my pipeline and my software, my CRM, if they have their own processes. So Google Sheet is a great way to get the information you need, which is like, is this working? Is the lead quality great? Because they can just put in comments like, I mean, I unhit it, but you know, the information like that's good to know. Like, these are shit leads, like, right? So they're not able to get in touch with these leads, so I may need to make an adjustment to some of the marketing campaigns. It looks like they didn't attempt a couple of them, or I'm not sure if they went forward, but it's good to get information from them. So it's a little bit back and forth, right? One thing that I did want to show you, because I think I promised you in the beginning, was I had a custom formula that basically just said whether the lead was disqualified or not. And I'll talk you through that really quickly. I don't want to get into like a Google Sheets, Excel kind of nerd session, but frankly, this is what I love. You can see it there if you want to copy it, but basically I'm saying if column K or this particular cell is terrible, so the string is terrible, less than 620, an exact match, then I want you to say yes. Otherwise, no. But I also added something so that, like, let's say that I just did this. It's going to say a bunch of no's. It's going to look kind of ugly. So I added a little bit in here where if this is blank, then just show blank. Otherwise, do what I just said. So I should have dragged this up a little bit. Now I have a column that I don't have to touch, and it'll automatically update for the hundreds of leads that I generate this client. And you know, it's just a nice little column of, oh yeah, I didn't send the lead because it was disqualified. We had agreed they don't want those kinds of leads. So hopefully this was helpful, guys. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you might be using for your clients, or if you're using something different, or maybe in a better system. Let me know. And if you get stuck on the Zapier, Let me know there also. I'm interested to see where you're getting stuck. Like you saw, I got stuck, and I wanted to show you how I got unstuck. So I'm interested to know if you guys are going to use this, how you get stuck, etc. Thanks.